Hi, this is Liana. This session is all about building your personal website with zero coding. See, over the course of the past few talks, you already got to know about the importance of having your own website out there. Arya also spoke a bit about what you should be including on your website, how to strategize what should be on that online space that you have created for yourself. So once you have decided to do that, how do you actually get into it? How do you get up your website up and running? So there are a number of ways you can actually do that without using much code. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Once you realize that, it would be about, out of all these options, which one do you choose? We have actually tried a few of them. So we'll be talking about 3 such methods over the course of this session. So the first one is Google Sites. We'll also be talking about Marbleize, as well as a little bit about using HTML and CSS templates and hosting them using GitHub pages. We have chosen Google Sites to be the first option, obviously, because probably it's the most simplest website making tool out there. You can easily drag and drop and just add your elements and publish it in just 2 simple clicks. It's as simple as that. And since it's a tool provided by Google, it's also quite reliable. So let me just pull up my browser and see how you can get started on it. All right. So you just have to visit sites.google.com and a page like this would open up. So at the bottom right corner, you'll see a create new site option. You click on that and the page would load up. So something that opens up is actually quite bland. So the header is just a gray area with a page title and there's nothing below. So the beauty of this is that you can customize it to your heart's content. Like you can add whatever you want step by step. Say, since we are building a portfolio website, I would first add my name over there. So let's add some color to make it look more visually appealing. Say we are choosing this option. This one looks good to me. All right. So now that's done. How do I add more elements? How do I talk about my work? How do I add pictures of all that I've done? So you can see that they can be added one by one, or you can choose one of these layouts to just quickly get the whole thing structured easily. So you can say about me and then edit the text over there, add some picture and all that. So there are a lot of things that you can actually add, including buttons. You can embed YouTube videos, calendar, map, all of the tools that are available by Google, by its software suite, including slides, sheets, and even form. So these are just available with just single click and then linking up to whatever resource it is that you want to add on. Say you can also change the background image according to whatever suits you, maybe even your own picture. You can also add additional pages. It's just as simple as clicking here and then say, I want to talk about my projects in detail in a single page. So once it's done, new page opens up. You can customize it in the same way that we customized our home page. And as you can see in the navigation bar, the projects bar has been added. So you can easily click onto each and you didn't actually have to do anything to do that. Google did it on the background for you. So since that's done, how do you publish it? So it's as simple as clicking on that button and adding whatever link you want it to be on. So say this is what I want it to go to. Let's copy this so that we can view it. All right, second click and it's published. So let's go to our website and see how it's looking like. Okay, so it took some time to load up and now it's here. So you can see how simple and effective it is to get started quickly. So it does look very minimal. So you might feel like there's not much you can do with it, But let me show you a page that was built using Google Sites. This is something that you would be familiar with, the Godmother's website. So if you observe the sections, the different headings, the photos added, it doesn't look like any of the existing themes. Even though we did use Google Sites, we did have the exact same tools available. So you can customize it according to your own style. You can add your own pictures and your own color scheme, and all of that would be available to make it look as unique to you as possible. So you can see that even a form has been embedded and it doesn't look anything like an external object. It's very seamlessly added along to the rest of the content of the website. And you can see the different sections that are available, and each of it has its own layout style, all that were built using the tools that we saw earlier. All right, moving on. Our next option is Marbleize. So how do you build a website using Marbleize? So the main difference between Google Sites and Marbleize is that Marbleize offers a little more customizability, but while for Google Sites, you just had to go to sites.google.com and just click away, Marbleize requires you to download the software suite first. So you can just Google Marbleize and you'll find the download option for the exe if you're on Windows executive file, and you just install it in 2 clicks. I'll open up the installed version of Marbleize on my system. So once it's installed, this is the screen that pops up. Let's see how you can start creating your website from scratch. So let's put on this and create a new website. Suppose I want to use this option. I click away and get started. It's loading up. So you can see that it's been clearly given way to get started. Okay, all right. So these are the different sections that you can have on your website. So say I need a navigation bar. I need a header. Since I want to talk about me, I'll be using an article section where I can add some text. I want to add a few images. So, okay, let's use a gallery or a slider so that I can put multiple images and you can just slide through them. So that's there. Let me add a contact section. So that can also be added in 1 click. So basically we have added a few blocks that we want for our website. We can also customize them once it's been added. Say, let's go back to our header. This should be my name since it's my portfolio. Then this is whatever I want to convey about me in 1 line. All right, so let's keep it short. This background doesn't have anything in relation to who I am. So you can also change that. Just click on the block parameters, choose the background image. So you can actually use some of the inbuilt online library of Marbleize. Since I'm talking about being CSE undergraduate, this looks like something that's relatable. You can do that. Or you could just browse something from your computer and that would be done. So once you decide on the picture, you can add that there. And then similarly, you can just click on each of those sections and just edit them over there. So the thing that I immediately noticed regarding Marbleize is that the content, the layout, it all looks very professional. It looks like one of those websites that you see while you're browsing. The companies that are selling something, or all that. So how do you publish your website? Let's just click on this button. Again, it's as simple as 2 steps, but if you don't have a GitHub account, you might want to create that first. You put your GitHub username over here, and then at whatever link you want it to be linked up to. So let's say I want it to be linked on portfolio. So that can be published. It will ask you for your password, but since I've already done that, that step has been skipped over here. It's being processed. So what happens is that since this is using the GitHub Pages site engine on the background, it will take a few minutes once it's been loaded to actually process and then display it on the on our URL. So like it says, it can take up to 5 minutes to show up the changes. So while it's being loaded, okay, it loaded up fast. So this was something that I tried out earlier, and you can see all the different things that have been added over there. So you could just visit it using the URL that you gave earlier. So let's see a website that was built using Marbleize. So that would be Arya's own website, and you can see how you can customize it to your heart's content to suit whatever you want to say. So there are a bunch of different sections. Arya has included in short about all of her main talking points, her current projects, and she has even embedded her own podcast. So embedding is also quite easy, and then some contact information and all that. Using the different sections, you can see more about, you can talk about more of the stuff that you want to talk about, highlight it, if you may. Okay, so let's look at our last option. So let's talk about our last option. So this is actually my personal favorite. Why do I say that? The thing with the previous 2 options is that since a lot of templates are pre-made, you can choose the blogs and add those blogs, but the functionality is actually quite limited. You can't see those dynamic pop-ups or animations that you see on most of the websites on the internet today. So suppose you want to use some of those features of HTML5 and CSS, but also host it without worrying too much about the hassle and the technicalities involved. So what we'll be exploring is we'll be using a few pre-made templates. We'll be modifying them according to our need, and then we'll be hosting it using GitHub Pages. So one of the websites that offers free templates for personal use is html5up.net. Let me quickly pull that up. HTML5up, as you can see, you can use these themes are 100% customizable and free under the Creative Commons. That is, if you're using for your personal need and not for making any gains out of it. So you can see all those themes, and you can even view them live as a live demo. And a bunch of themes are available, and all of them look equally cool. So say I want to use this one. So you can just click on the download button, and it's being downloaded. I'll save it and unzip them. And once it's unzipped, let's see how the files look like. This is how your contents will look like once it's been unzipped. So you can click on the index.html file, and it will open up on your browser. So you can see how it looks like first, and then we can explore how it can be customized further. So this is what would pop up. So this was the design that we downloaded. So we'll have to make changes to suit our own purpose. you can see that when you're clicking how the different sections open up, and how you can use it to talk about different aspects of your life and whatever you want to be published online. So let's see how this can be modified. Let me open the index.html file on a code editor. So once you open up the index.html file, this is how it would look like. So you can quickly get changing, and you can see that it's quite easy to change as well. You want to change the title first, whatever comes over there. You want to change the heading, and rather than the theme name, you want your name to come up. So that can be changed. And say I want to talk about me in one line. So I'll be changing all the content within the paragraph tags and writing whatever tagline I want it to be there. So say I want to say I'm a CSE undergraduate with a passion for coding and community engagement. So that's what I would be putting up there. So that's done. And similarly, you can make changes in all of those sections. Say instead of the intro, I want to say about me. So in a few words, I want to talk about, what I'm doing right now, and what motivates me and all that. So say, rather than work, I want to talk about the coding projects I have involved in. So that would be the second section I want to involve. Say, I also want to talk about my leadership positions and over the past few years. So I would want to highlight that as well. Then finally, let's keep the contact session, because some contact information would be good for anyone who's going through. And then again, I've already modified the intro. So instead of the intro, I want it to be about me. And then you can modify between the paragraph tags to include whatever text it is that you want to talk about. So that could be about who you are, what you're doing, all that. So since it's between a paragraph tag, just make sure that you're closing it. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is just brush up on some of those HTML that you learned in school, or you could use sites like or you could use a lot of sites online to just learn them quickly, and then make similar changes all over the way. So I've actually modified it completely according to what I need. So it's just a matter of changing the text according to your purpose. So I've modified all the important stuff. So now you can just, let's see how it looks like. Let me open up the index.html file in my computer and then just refresh it. So this is how it would look like. All of those things have been changed. The about section has been added. You can see I've added my own picture as well. I just linked it to my file. And you can just see all the other sections as well. So it has been really customized, and I've even included links to other areas. Like, for example, I've said more of my work experience can be found on LinkedIn, and then just linked that up. All right, so how do you host this? This is the most important part. How do you put this out on the internet? So this is still now just on my computer. So this is where GitHub Pages comes in. You have to just quickly log into your GitHub account. Click on that plus button and add your new repository. And just make sure that the repository name that you're using is your own username, because that is how GitHub Pages passes it. .github.io. This should be how your repository name looks like. So since I've already created, that's just something that's showing up. So say for the test purpose, I'll just create a new one over there. All right. So just description is all up to you. Just create the repository. This is something that will open up. Just upload an existing file. Use this option and then choose your files. And then what you should do is open up those files wherever you have saved them. So I've saved them inside this website folder, and then just choose all of them and open. So the thing is, don't upload the website folder itself. go into the website folder and add the subfolders into your repository. So that is being added. It will take some time. And after that, you can commit your changes. So it's as simple as that. And then you can just go to the website, the repository that you have created, the repository name that was lianasahir.github.io in my case. So you can see that just giving that link opens up my website that we saw earlier. It's available to all and it's out there on the internet. So it's taking some time to load. So the site has loaded. You can find the different sections over here. It has all been uploaded properly. So that's about using GitHub Pages. So coming back, are these three the only options available? Of course not. We already covered that in the beginning. A lot of options are available out there for building your website completely free, and that too without code. These three have been highlighted just to show that it's as simple as dragging and dropping in most cases to ensure that your personal space on the internet is out there. There are also a lot of other options available like Wix, Weebly, and Strikingly. All have their own features and drawbacks. Some have a lot of ads that pop up on your website, creating a lot of distractions. Some have a lot more themes. Some are a little bit more complicated in getting started. A platform like WordPress, rather than being a simple website maker, would be more suitable for creating a blog-like setup where you can update your writings every now and then. So depending on your usage, you could choose whatever platform you want. So I hope you find the different ways to create a website that we discussed in this session useful. So if you have any queries, you can feel free to hit up during our Telegram session at 8:30 p.m. and we can get clearing them right away. So the only important thing is that you just get started. Just get started and tinker away and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So with that, see you soon. Bye-bye.